Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in today. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I'm doing my best to bring you some good content. Today we're going to just get right into this little truck. This belongs to a good friend of mine, Jeff Villa, here in Cuero, Texas. And he bought him a little Haas, and he bought this truck really cheap. Got it at Marketplace, and it's in really good shape for, for what he paid for it. And needs a little bit of work. Needs an axle put in it right there. Needs a couple axles put in and stuff like that. We're going to put some billet knuckles in front, but you're going to see all that, so there's not a lot of sense talking about it. So let's just get into the work. Let's see what we're going to do this thing today. Today, we're going to do a Wide MAXX kit. He wants to put the orange Wide MAXX kit on it. And honestly, we've got a couple, or three to install, honestly. I've got a blue, you've probably seen the video already, the new Wide MAXX, the V2, I guess. I'm going to put blue arms on it. It obviously comes white already, but it comes with black arms. So I want to put blue arms on it. We're going to do that. And then I've got that little red Max, that new one. I want to put red arms on that one. So we're going to be doing that. But now we're going to work on my buddy's truck. Kill two birds with one stone. He wants the Wide MAXX put on, and he needs axles fixed. So guess what? Everything in one box. So let's go ahead and get started. Now there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. I'm just going to show you guys, since this is kind of an educational or a teaching video, I'm going to show you guys how to tear the whole front end completely down. You've already seen it. If you're looking for front end teardown videos, you've already gotten it tore down, you want to know how to put it together, check the description. There's going to be a link there to the playlist, and there will also be a link to the front end video where we've done the C-knuckles, we've done axles and all that stuff. If you guys are watching my videos in order, you guys already know how to tear the front end down, how to put it all back together. It's pretty much the same process, you're just using longer arms, right? Okay, that being said, like I said, being this is a teaching video, I'm going to go ahead and tear the whole front end down. There's another way you can do it. You can pull the upper and lower arms off and pull the whole assembly off and change each part. But being at some point you're going to have the whole thing apart anyway to change something, you may as well do it now, learn now. Practice makes perfect, right? Okay, let's do it. So let's see what we need. Let's go ahead and pull the wheels off, make it a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. I'm going to take the front wheels off. You're going to need an 8mm for that. Go ahead and get you a 1.5, get you a 2, 2.5, your 8mm. Of course, your hand driver, all your basic tools, everything we always use on this channel. Let's go ahead and get this tire off. Let's take this rear ones off here real quick and get down to it. I don't know how long this video is going to be, guys. It may be a 2, maybe a 3-parter. I'm trying to keep my videos around 15 to 20 minutes if I can. I don't want to make them real long because nobody has time to sit down and watch a 30-minute show. If you have time to sit down and watch a 30-minute show, you're probably not going to watch mine. I wouldn't, right? Alright guys, so we've got the tires off. Let's go ahead and tear the front end down. Let's get that done. Okay, so there we go. Good look at the front end. Let's go ahead and pull that bumper off of there just to get it out of the way. It's going to be a 2.5. You can already see we've got 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. This one's going to be a lot longer than those are, so let's go ahead and get these off. Alright. And this pulls right off just like that. Alright, so you guys have seen the bumper screws before, but in case you didn't watch all the previous videos, let me show you guys. So that's what's in the bumper there. You've got two short ones that go down into the lower skid plate. Those look like they're 4x10 or 4x12. And then you got a long one there. So we'll put those aside. What you can also do is get some of these plastic condiment cups from the grocery store or Walmart or anything like that, and just put your screws in there and label it. Back bumper, front bumper, whatever. Makes it easy. Alright, bumper's off. Okay, let's pull the front shocks off. So they're going to be a 2mm. Then you're going to pull your top screws out. Okay, so we'll pull the screws out of it. Top ones are going to be longer. There you go there. And just remove the shocks. And I am going to go ahead, just to make it easier on me, I'm going to go ahead and put those 4 screws in a cup, put them next to the shocks, I'm going to take the other 3 screws that were in the bumper, put them in a cup, put it right by the bumper. Okay, so we turned it over. We're going to go ahead and pull the skid plate off and get it out of the way. 2.5 on that. These screws here are tapered, so you can just throw them in your little bolt container. You're not really going to forget where these go or get confused with them. That's what they look like. And then I've shown on my other videos that this little skid plate just goes on just like that. You just pull it right out of there. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it back over. Okay, let's finish getting the front end off. So grab your 2.5 and let's go ahead and pull this little brace off. Take that little screw and that little brace and just set it down together so you don't lose track of it. Go ahead and take out your top inner A-arm pins. You can just unscrew it for now. You hold on to this so that doesn't happen if you like. Okay, now go ahead and take out the lower outer screws on your A-arms. You're going to need to pull these out on both sides. Probably not the best view on this one here. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to turn it around before I pull the pins out so you guys can see everything real good. Oh. I want to be sure you guys can see everything that I do, otherwise you're not going to learn, right? Alright, so just go ahead and pull all your pins out. You go ahead and pull out your upper one on the left hand side. Pull out your upper one on the right hand side. There we go. And go ahead and reach down there and take this little bracket off. It'll just push right off. Okay, put it aside. I'm going to put my pins in my part dish. Pull the lower pins. There we go. Okay, we forgot to pull our outer tie rods. So let's go ahead and pull our tie rod off right here. This is going to be a 2mm. Okay, now we're going to pull the other side. So we're going to pull this one off here. Okay, we'll take that screw and we'll take the screw out of the other one, and I'm just going to put it in my part dish. Alright, let's go ahead and pull that left assembly off of there. Pull the right side off. The axle was halfway stuck, the outer was halfway stuck. Look at that inner. See, can you see there? Look how twisted up it is. It was about to break just like that one broke. Okay, so now let's go ahead and pull these inners off real fast. So go ahead and chuck up your 2mm for that also. And then you're going to have little Allens right there. There you go. You can see that Allen right there. And then there'll be one on this side. You'll turn it until you find it. Yeah, there it is right there. See there? And you'll just reach right inside a little hole there, and you can get that right out. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay. There we go. And there's a small pin right there. It's a threaded pin. Pull that axle off, set it down, and then just repeat for the other side. Same exact procedure. I don't know if I don't have it all the way out or it's just kind of bound up. I'm going to give it another little shot here. It doesn't help that I can't see. There it is. So there's that little pin. It's going to be just like the other side. And we'll go ahead and pull that off. There we go. So our front end is completely torn apart now. And we still need to get these tie rods, the tie rods off. I was going to call them inners, but I mean they're one piece. So tie rod, inner tie rod, whatever you choose to call it. There, and now you have access to your screw right there. So let's go ahead and pull that one out of there, because these are going to be longer as well. So and we'll take those out, put it in a little part dish. I'm going to push this one over. Here we go. Okay. And I'll help you guys with the screw locations. These are, I mean, really you use common sense when you put it back in. You can take your screw, you see there, and you put it up there. You can see that that's the perfect length. If it's, you know, going to screw way through the bottom or it doesn't reach, well, of course, it's not the right screw, right? Okay. Quick look at that. That there is the bottom of the front bulkhead. That's the lower half of it. It's a two-piece deal, and there's actually a video on changing this whole part out. When you take it out of the truck, you split the front end, the diff comes out, and all that good stuff. If you're interested in checking that out, check the description as well. If I've forgotten to put the link in, I'm sorry. Simply go to the MAXX playlist and look for MAXX front bulkhead, and it should be in there. It'll be there. So, all right, guys, so that's it. We got the front of the truck reduced to a little nub there. You can see in the camera. So let's go ahead and get this thing off of here, get the parts unboxed, and start putting this puppy back together. Jeff, she's halfway there. Okay, quarter of the way there. When it front's together, then it'll be halfway there. Let's get it done. All right, so now we got the truck out of the way. Let's go ahead and finish taking the front end apart. We got one side here and the other side right here. Let's go ahead and strip this down all the way to bare bones. So go ahead and grab your 2.5 millimeter and just start taking pins out. I'm going to walk you through it. If I've gone a little bit fast for you, not to worry. When I go back together, we are going to go very slowly and we're going to go step by step. So here's what you're looking at. That's the bottom arm. And actually these lower pins we pulled out, or we loosened them, but we never took them out. So let's go ahead and start with that. Go ahead and take that lower pin out of there. And we're going to take this one out. Drop it in the part dish. Okay, now you can just separate your arms. Okay, and now these, I mean, they're gone. We're not using those anymore. So we'll put those to the side. Now go ahead and take your 2.5 and we're going to remove this pin right here on both of them. Okay. Go ahead and remove your pins. And there goes that arm. And there you go. So there you have your front stock A-arms. You can use them for spares, but the only thing is you have to change all of them if you want to use them for spares. So if you tear your truck up, you're better off just buying a replacement arm. But if you're really in a bind, then you're going to have to do all the work all over again, shorten your axles back up and all that good stuff. So, okay, so there's that. Now, we still need to get these apart because these have to be changed. So, you don't have to take the actual C-knuckle off the actual steering knuckle, but there's only 2 screws in it, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And like I said before, if you guys have watched my other videos, you already know how to do this. So go ahead and take those pins out. Okay? You guys with me? These are going to be short. And not to worry, I'm going to show you where everything goes, putting it back together. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. If I do, I'm really sorry. I'm going to do my very best. Okay, now you can pull that C-knuckle right off of there, like that. Now you can pull your other one off. We are almost down to bare bones. We got our arms right here. We got our C-knuckle. Then we have our main steering knuckle. Alright, so take your flathead and take you anything you can get behind this little wheel hex here, because you have to pry this off. So you just push your axle in as far as it'll go to give you a little bit of room, and then you can reach back here and just twist. It'll come off, and there's a little pin back there. You see that little pin? Be careful that you don't lose that. It'll push right out. Take it and put it aside. Then that'll pull right out. Just like that. That bearing always comes with the outer. So same thing with the other side. Pry that off, take it off, pull your pin out, put it aside, and then pop your inner out. And go ahead and take this bearing off. We need this bearing. So we're going to do it just like this. There's actually a little spot right there. You can dig a little flathead in there and pry it off. So you put it in there and you twist it off. On a brand new truck, these are tight. This is coming right off. Okay. Now let's take this one off. Okay, it's ready to come off, I believe. Almost. There. Okay, so now we've got those bearings off, and then these bearings stayed in the front there. But let's go ahead and just pop those out to see how they feel. We'll just take a tool like this here and reach in, and they'll pry right out. There you go. So that's it, guys. Now you got the whole front end tore down, it's laying right in front of you there. Got to get the springs, because we got to get the springs off of the shocks. So that's going to be the next step. Let me go ahead and clean this up real quick. Okay guys, so I wanted to divide this video up into sections, like front and rear. But I forgot. We have to have the rear shocks off because the rear springs go on the front shocks. So I'm still not going to tear the whole back end down, but we are going to pull these rear shocks off so that we can get the front end together. So go ahead and take your rear shocks off. If you happen to be watching this video before you do it, like most people would be doing it, be researching it, go ahead and just take your rear shocks off, you know, and have it ready. So we're going to go ahead and take the rears off. I'm going to grab my 2 millimeter. Okay, so we got a long screw on the top that goes through the tower to the shock, and then a short screw on the bottom. So top, bottom. Okay, so then we have our top and bottom screw, and then we're just going to get those shocks off of there. We got our rear shocks here, and this is something that kind of fouled me up the first time, and you can tell if you kind of pay attention, but I'm going to give you guys a word of advice. So front shocks over here, front and rear. These springs will not be reused. These front springs will not be reused. Those are going bye-bye. Rear springs, you're going to take off and put on the front shock. But if you're not careful, you can kind of mix them up. You can look at them and tell, but just for the sake of argument, get you a Sharpie, preferably a silver one, and just mark them so you can identify them. So I'm just going to paint a couple of these coils black. So I know I'm keeping the black and the other ones are going away. Usually I'll take a silver Sharpie and just right here, just put a little bitty mark, and that's it. You'll never know it's there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take these springs off these shocks. And then we have to get to the fun part that's going to drive some of you guys crazy. It still drives me crazy, but we're going to get through it. So we're going to take a 2 millimeter, and we need to loosen that screw right there on all 4 shocks. So let's do that, shall we? Oh, that came out, so obviously this screw is going to come out. I wanted to do these all at one time. We'll still try. Okay, so remember now, those are our rears. And I try to keep these separated. And if you're tired when you're doing this, it's going to be hard to tell. Now our other front shock. Okay, lay that over there. Got them separated, front and rear. And I'm going to go ahead and put just a little black mark on the shock itself. So I know that those are the rear. We marked the rear springs, we marked the rear shocks. If you got a good memory, you know, you may want to do that. I do. Okay, so let's start with our rear ones. And all you do is pull that spring down some. You see there? Pull it down, and this will push down and off, just like that. See there? On and back off. And just set everything down right next to the shock. So we'll do this one, we'll pull down on it just a little bit, push it down, slide it off, and we know those are our rear. Alright, now these here, as soon as we get those off, I'm going to lay it down, but this spring is going over here with our arms. So that's our rear shock, front shock. Now we're going to take this one off, take that front coil off, throw it over there, out of the way. Put it where you're not going to get it mixed up. Okay, so we know these are our front and these are our rear. So now we're just going to do this. Take it off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. Then we can just put those aside, and let's go ahead and get our front back together. It's the exact reverse procedure. The caps, the little retainers are the same, so pull down on it. And be sure when you put this on, you know, your little collars at the bottom, your seat for your spring. See there? So just do this one here. There it is. good to go. Now, our rear shocks are going to get new springs. So go ahead, let's put those little screws back in. There are these right here. What you can do is just lay it right across the top there. You see if it's the correct length. You see? Alright, so let's put those back in. Yay, we're assembling. We're still not done disassembling. And I don't mean that we still have to do the rear half. We still have to take the drive shafts apart. Alright, there we go. And then, I mean, if you want to leave your shock set where it was, you can, or do whatever. I'm just going to leave them set right there. So, shocks are back together. We'll put those aside. We're going to use those in a little bit. We're going to put these springs on whenever we open the kit up. Now, we still need to do some teardown. So, let's go ahead and get that done.